Good evening, and welcome to New Voices, New Works. My name is Jenny Nelson, and I am the director of tonight's performance, as well as the Roz and Bud Siegel Director of Education and Community Engagement at Westport Country Playhouse.
My name is Harold Bailey. I'm the chair of Team Westport, and in addition, I'm a board member of the Westport Country Playhouse. I'm also one of the lead organizers of this week's programming to honor the life and legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
The performance you'll see tonight is all original work written by the actors in response to Layla F. Saad's brilliant work, Me and White Supremacy.
Art has the power to lift up ideas, change hearts, change minds, and reflect our own humanity. We hope these voices will inspire you to be the change you wish to see in the world.
This is a call to action. We must hear the call. There is no time to waste. As Dr. King so eloquently states, the time is always right to do what's right. Enjoy the show.
Dion, I am trying, but it's hard. I'm supposed to be talking about a report card. And here I am again talking about nonsense. You know what I should say? Hey, Mrs. Collins, as an educator, for you to be so ignorant is ridiculous. And who in the hell do you think you are? I'm just so sick of having the same conversations over and over. First with Now last week. Oh, I didn't tell you about the situation with Now's new girlfriend. So Now comes to me. He's like, Mom, Emily's brother Matt told me I was well spoken, and I don't know how to feel about that. Well, son, he said that because you're Black. So yeah, I spent that entire evening explaining to him how the expectation for us is set very low or not existent. And for what? All because now if I get on that call and cuss her out, I'll be the angry Black. Yeah. Why am I even thinking about her feelings? Right, like I'm not allowed to be upset. You come for my children, I come for you. It's that simple. Oh, girl, here she is. I gotta go. I'll call you back. Hi, Mrs. Collins. I've been better, but thank you for asking. Before we get started, there's something I need to address. Let me start by saying this. As a teacher, there is a high expectation for you to understand that your words have power. They have the power to build someone up and the power to tear them down. So, this morning, I overheard you interrupt your class to tell Naya how beautiful her hair looked and how you never saw it straightened and that she should wear it like that more often. Yep, I get it. But this entire school year, Naya has worn her hair in its natural, kinky, curly state, be it one Afro puff, 2 or 3. I know. Yes. However, when I asked Naya if you've ever complimented her on her hair outside of this morning, her answer was no. You may think you were complimenting her, but you were actually devaluing a 7-year-old child. I already have to constantly tell her that her brown skin is enough, that her natural hair is enough, that she is enough. And I don't know if you know this or not, Mrs. Collins, but since slavery, Black women and girls have been conditioned to believe that our natural hair is unattractive, and it's still present today. Moving forward, my expectation of you is to compliment Naya solely on her academic performance. Because what's left for me to do is undo the damage that you don't even know that you've done. And I appreciate that. What I would appreciate more is knowing that we're on the same page. Great. Okay. Now I have Naya's report card and writing prompts here. Where would you like to start?
So was that it, officer? All right, then may I please have some solitude? Yeah, but this is solitary confinement, ain't it? Yeah, no. I don't want a Bible. Bible would be the easy way through this. Yeah, and I guess hanging myself would be easier, but there ain't nothing to hang from except maybe a few raggedy imaginary rainbows, and they can't take my weight. Yeah, because I'm burdened, man. Yeah, I'm real heavy. Yeah, I guess the harder way would, and not the hardest, would be to bust through that wall right there. But I might want to use it as my canvas, onto which I paint my self-portrait in feces and blood during my inevitable journey into madness. Because if it was up to the Department of Corrections, I'd leave out of here with a mind as disturbed, a body as broken, and a soul as burdened as the day I was arrested. Yeah. And that would be a tragedy. Thank you. That would be a tragedy. This is a tragedy. I am a tragedy. Yeah, but once I was a boy. Or was I? Maybe I was born a tragedy and then somehow grew into a boy, or never even really a boy at all, but a fledgling tragedy. And there is no place for me except prison or death. Or the theater, where tragedy is highly regarded. All the world is a stage. And you must be my fourth wall, huh? Lights! I am a tragedy. I was born February 22nd, 1965, within 24 hours of the assassination of Malcolm X. I was delivered while the echoing report of the shotgun blast still permeated the atmosphere and of the birth matter that covered my nakedness. I'm certain a few splotches of blood were Malcolm's. I was born in the wake of tragedy. On April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated while standing on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel. He was pronounced dead at 7:05 p.m. The next morning in nursery school, During a moment of reflection for Dr. King, I stood in the midst of the circle gathering and in a state of profound grief exclaimed, "There is no promised land!" An event documented by the school administrator in a letter to my mother. At the age of 3, I stood disillusioned in the shadow of tragedy. In 1973, my mother decided that my brother, sister, and my refuge from tragedy might be found in the Black nationalist movement. So she enrolled us in the New Age African School at the corner of Western Avenue and Vernon Boulevard. And there, we were given African names. I became Nkosi. We are Black, we are strong, we are determined. We have come to school today to bear witness to Blackness, truth, and strength. Red is for the blood that has not been lost uselessly. Black is for the familyhood of all African people around the world. Green is for the cultivation of new life. I am a Black and proud warrior dedicated to the liberation of my people. My purpose is to protect African community and its people from all oppressors, and to bring about a mental awareness of Black freedom, Black feeling, and Black thought. One summer evening in 1974, Jomo, our leader, who I only knew as the tall, powerful man with the enormous afro and the fierce look of determined and troubled wisdom, was murdered. Shotguns and machetes blasted and butchered him and his wife, Chakalia, who was teeming with child. Our community fractured with devastation, disillusionment, and grief. So at 9 years old, I discovered there is no refuge from tragedy, even where we cultivate Blackness and celebrate Africa. So without the discipline and the protection of a father, a community, or God, I, under the gaze of my mama, my beautiful overburdened mama, retrospectively speaking, began my inevitable journey toward tragedy. Now, here I am. Happy, sad, smile, frown, laugh, cry, light, dark, white, Black, comedy, tragedy. But I'd really prefer standing somewhere in the middle betwixt comedy and tragedy, somewhere between a damn shame and a goddamn pity. Happy, smile, laugh, light, white comedy. Sad, frown, cry, dark, Black tragedy.
My rhythm has forever been altered. Say her name. Sandra Bland. She was a 28-year-old African-American woman who was found hanged in a jail cell in Waller County, Texas on July 13, 2015. 3 days after she was arrested during a traffic stop. Her death was ruled a suicide. Before the death of Sandra Bland, I was never nervous around the police. I was well aware of all the atrocities and injustices that they've committed, but I never saw myself in any of the victims. Then Sandra Bland happened, and suddenly I feared for my life. And I could see myself in her. I could hear myself in her. She said, "How could changing lanes without a turn signal turn into all of this?" Flashback, September 2015, 2 months after the death of Sandra Bland. It's 8:10 p.m., and I'm heading home after a long shift on my feet at the coffee shop. I get in my car, and I'm listening to the Colin McEnroe show on NPR. And as I'm heading home, I'm taking all back streets, straight down Golf, left onto Osborne, right onto Blake, left onto Jewel Street. All of a sudden, red and blue lights light up my mirror. And suddenly, I fear for my life. I pull over and I start rummaging through my brain as to what to do when being pulled over. Don't make any sudden moves. Keep your hands at 10 and 2. Damn it, what else is there? I put my hands at 10 and 2. And I look over on my passenger side and I see my phone. And I want to call Dan and tell him everything that's happening. But I can't because my hands are frozen at 10 and 2. What did I do? Did I not put on my signal when I turned? What did I do? I sit in my car. The racing beat of my heart is pulsating through my temples. An officer appears on my passenger side with a flashlight, and he's searching all throughout my car, and he's searching me up and down. I sit there, still, sweating, my heart changing rhythm. All of a sudden, another officer appears on my driver's side. Roll down your window. License and registration. I very carefully reach in my glove box. Do you know why I pulled you over? I shake my head no. Your registration is expired. Sit tight. He goes back to his car. The other officer's still standing there with this flashlight, just probing. I sit still. My body is shaking. Help me! He comes back to the car. He hands me back my license and registration. You got to get that taken care of. I could take your car from you right now, but you caught me on a good day. Get that taken care of. Okay, thank you. He starts to walk away. Excuse me. May I ask a question? How did you know my registration was expired? I ran your plates. Yes, but what made you run my plates? It's just something we do. You got any more questions? I shake my head no. He signals to the other officer, who finally turns off the flashlight, and they both walk back to their car. I sit in my car with my hands still at 10 and 2, gripping my steering wheel, trying to control this newfound rhythm in my heart. Breathe. I mean, what would have happened if I kept on asking questions? What would have happened if I caught him on a bad day? I mean, on a whim. My fate could have been the same as Sandra Bland's. My rhythm has forever been altered.
Extra, extra reads all about it. Jury finds white man innocent of lynching Negro teen after smiling at a white woman. Day after day, I stand here on this corner preaching the devil's gospel, Jim Crow's gospel. You know, sometimes I think them people down at the Herald write this here paper with the blood of Negroes, both dead and live. Dead, live, any way you look at it, it just sucks the life out of you. I mean, every day a Negro dies with no killer or no witness, and if they is found and they white, they free. Just us. I guess I know who us is. Only 2 cents, fresh off the press. Come join the revolution and claim what's rightfully yours. Help tame the uppity nigger. Join the clan. By the way, my name Raymond Freeman, but most people, they just call me Ray. I was born August 19th, 1900 in Savannah, Georgia, but I was raised here in Harlem, New York, since I was about 2 years old. You see, my family migrated up north with the rest of the Southern Negroes in search of a better life and to escape Jim Crow. But 22 years later, and I can still feel that man tap dancing on my soul. I just never understood how one people could hate another people so badly. You know, my grandpa Freeman, he used to say, well, they scared of your power. I miss Grandpa. Grandma, too. You know, we used to go down and visit him every summer until I was about 16. The same year, my Grandpa Freeman was murdered by the Klan because my little brother Troy, he got sticky fingers. Well, anyway, my mama, she would give us what she liked to call her guide to staying alive in Crow Country. Mama used to say, now y'all make sure y'all walk around with your heads down. Because white folks don't like niggas looking them in the eyes. And make sure you say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and Troy. Especially you, baby. Keep your black asses away from them white guys. Oh, mama was serious. Well, on our second day in Georgia, it's what the people down there used to call hotter than Hades. And we, my brother and my cousins and I, we decided we wanted some ice cream. Now, the only problem with that was Mom and Pa's house was like, ooh, about a mile away from town. And there wasn't no trees on them dirt roads. So we decided we was going to take the horse and buggy. It's just our luck, Grandpa Freeman had already taken the horse and buggy into town. So we walked, and we walked all the way to town. The only time we stopped was to jump into the creek to cool off. You know, I can't tell you how uncomfortable I was being in the middle of a town full of rednecks that would rather watch me burned alive at the stake than to win $1 million. The hate for my kind was strong in Savannah, but I hate them just as much as they hate me. And you see, my brother, they don't understand that. They don't see that. They don't see what I see, and all they keep begging me for is ice cream. So we goes inside the Patterson store. Now, my brother and my cousins, they go right to the ice cream, but me, I stop right there at that penny candy. I mean, I'm so focused on trying to decide between those squirrel nuts, you know, and that saltwater taffy. I forgot about my brothers until I heard them scream, "Stop, nigga!" Next thing I know, I see my brother Troy run out the store with an ice cream bar. No sooner than he get to the middle of the town, I see a pale man jump on him. So I go out there to get that man off my brother, and I get hit in the stomach with the barrel of a shotgun. Next thing I know, I see a bunch of people surround him, and they screaming, "Hang the coon! Hang the coon!" And then I see one throw a rope in, and all I can do at that moment is say, "God! God, 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 remember us. Remember that you made us human too. Remember that we was in church praising your name every Sunday." Bang! It get real quiet. Crowd move. I'm expecting to see Troy there. But no, it's Grandpa Freeman, and he's standing there with his hunting rifle. He told us to get in the buggy. Grandpa Freeman, he didn't say one word to us the whole ride. But believe you me, when we got back home, Grandpa put his foot so far up Troy's ass, Grandpa and Troy looked like Siamese twins joined at the hip. Now, Grandpa, he sit us all down, and he said, "Y'all gonna have to be up north by the morning. They're gonna be coming for you." Now, we all sad because we think Grandpa don't want us at his house no more. But he says, no, it's because I love yous and I want to see you live that I'm doing this. Now, y'all can stay here. But you, Troy, you got to go sleep out under the bridge by the creek. They're going to be coming for you by nightfall. Yeah, Grandpa was right. I go to the window and I see what looked like ghosts carrying torches. "Open up. It's the Klan." Now, Grandma, she don't want Papa to open the door. But Papa, he opened it because he said he don't want them to burn the house down. We looking for the little nigga thief. Grandpa said, "Well, he not here. See, he went back up north this morning with his mama." That man pushed past Papa and searched the house anyway. remember I couldn't see his face, but he smelled of wet chicken and he had the coldest eyes, darkest eyes. Well, since the little nigga thief's not here, we're gonna have to show an example of how not to steal from a white man, a superior man. That man raised his gun and he shoot Papa in his hands. But Papa don't make a sound. Another man hit Papa in the face with the barrel of his shotgun and Papa don't move. Then he shoot Papa in his knees. And when Papa fall, he tell him, "Get up, you stubborn mule." Now we all there sad and we cried because we don't really know what to do. Tie that boy to the back of my horse. Still, we just cried. But Grandma, she stands strong for her man. Her man that they called a boy, and she don't drop one tear. That man got on his horse. That man dragged Papa up the road and down the road and up the road and down the road and up and down that dirt rocky road until all you saw was bone and white meat. And as if that wasn't enough, the rest of those hooded cowards got off their horses and they pissed on Papa's open wounds. Oh, I never heard a grown man cry so. And as if that wasn't enough, that man got back on his horse and he dragged Papa back down the road until his head popped off and fell into the creek where Troy was. So no, Troy was never the same after that day. None of us were. When are we gonna be remembered? Huh? When are we gonna be treated with the respect and the humanity that we deserve? When are we gonna stand up for ourselves? Because ain't nobody else gonna do it. You know, when that day come, if that day come, I'll probably read about it in this here newspaper. Extra reads all about it. 5 Points District has been completely demolished. Next establishment to be made, Wall Street.
Thank you for welcoming us into your homes and supporting the work of these amazing artists. We are so grateful that you've joined us for this inspiring week of programming to honor the life and legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It is our earnest hope to continue to create events like these to help our community locally and globally. Your gift today can make this hope a reality. If you are able, please donate to Team Westport by texting Team Westport at 91999 and give what you can. I can think of no better way to end this event series, but with a quote from Dr. King himself. Tomorrow is today. We are confronted with the fierce urgency of now. In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such a thing as being too late. This is no time for apathy or complacency. This is a time for vigorous and positive action. Keep doing the work. Stay safe. Take care.